Oh. Alrighty. Let's get going. I know I said I expected to start something new today, but I am food comaing out a little bit. So I'm going to do something a bit more restful. And that's probably going to be a lot less long. Let's get up today's daily and do one more RT2 map. Ooh. What the hell? No, come on. Is that on me? But that's just gonna annoy me. Okay. And then... Hail, Jacques. Merry Christmas. I'm busy being annoyed at this at the moment. Because it's insisting that this is slightly not full screen. Oh no, there we go. It looks fine. Alright. So, what have we got for today's? Ranger with Nuclear War. No extra rerolls, limit of 4. Tiger, Cotton, Staghorn Coral. I mean, Tiger goes well with Nuclear War. The rest, not so much. Okay, so forest. Forest probably makes the most sense. Could do fishing. And fishing. We do have Fishing Man. Okay. No boosters. These two would eventually go super here. Although they get in the way of the fishing quest for the moment. Which bugs do we have? Mineral 1. Just shove you down. So otherwise I worry that this will expand in the wrong direction. Also for this, I should be a bit lower. There. Alright, she's happy now. Find out who our next person is. Goddess does very well in the desert. We might want 1 square of this just for the extra gems. Extra gems. Hail, Super Cheese. Merry Christmas. One of my bonbons today had a joke that you would approve of. Why was Santa taking night classes? To improve his elf esteem. Badum bum tsk. Okay. Now her first ones include Mausoleum. So if we can get Mausoleum up with the gems, we're all set. We need 1 animal. As long as we place a micro, the dragon works. So I want the dragon here. Then we want the animal-loving one here. Dragon plus Santa is a bearded dragon. And then the plain old one. And the one that wants other gems. And our special one. Boom. We chuck down an enrichment thing on it. It now produces 120. So once she gives us her mausoleum, mausoleum is fully activated. Next person. Either of the two balance people. She's better for going of the strange fish biosha that produce 2 stuff. An enemy, staghorn, etc. Do we make a second ocean? Hail, Aparnax. I had a lovely day. Family, neighbors. Cricket with the kids. It was a good day. I'm a bit food coma-y. And which age will we go next? At the moment, looks like it would be wealth age based on her. How many kids? Not my kids. The, some of the neighbors. One of the neighbors are something like big brothers. Well, the family at one of the neighbors is something like big brothers to me. And they have, well, one of them is, and they have 3 kids of their own now, and they're sort of between 3 and 12. We were trying to do the fish one with you. And I need to decide, are we building you an ocean? Merry Christmas, Copperhead. So are we building you an ocean? I do like this mix of mystery more than that mix of mystery. We've got money, money. We kind of don't need another person that concentrates so much on money. Yeah, that kind of sells it to me. Okay. And that means we're going to want to put all the double yielding stuff here. You scale with coral. You make coral bigger. On the other hand, I want 4 fish for her. I only have 3 fish at the moment. At maximum. You are a coral. The other one is only a reef. Whereas this gives me 3 fish. I should be coral maxing. Also, this goes really well with her extra bonus for double things. Even if it does make us a bit sad on the fish front. How are we going to do this? Keeping in mind that I eventually want to swap over to this and this. You could actually be deep. Whereas this one does need that square eventually. So arguably I want to put stuff like here. So you, 3 other things. Get her settled here. Our decision is somewhat made for us by this getting a booster. So this should be that one. Which means you are the other one. And we're out of actions. Let's make a quick save, in case it doesn't give me the age I want. But I think she has enough wealth that this should be fine. Yeah, she's rich enough. Get her up to 13 with 2 elements. Mausoleum produces slightly more than the Gem Seeker. Only thing is that she needs another element. So redstone exist. And then total dev. Keeping in mind we don't want anyone else's dev to exceed yours. This thing. He wants double yield stuff wherever possible. Which, until we upgrade this square, could very happily be sea anemone. But it could also be clownfish. Technically you are better. Isn't there a swamp guy too? We haven't gotten swamp guy. We've gotten forest/jungle monkey instead of the other one. Sort of is a bit like a Bulbasaur. Instead of this one's a Rillaboom, there's a Bulbasaur-like one, and that one can... One of the versions of the Bulbasaur one can do Swamp. This isn't quite as good as that. Let's go do the other one first, though. Hers. She needs us to do 2 more fish. We're no longer keeping this for the upgradey things. So I've got fish, fish... Fish... As disgusting as this is, it does give us another fish that we can immediately use. And Shirt is actually also pretty good. Seagrass is nice also. I definitely prefer the Sargassum to the Mud Volcano. We're going to say the Chert is about the same as the Seagrass. And that we really want this fish. We don't actually have enough critters to make this guy ultra happy. Oh no, predators, sorry. Still, it does trigger your fishing quest. Now we come back to you. So we have plant, plant, stone, stone, plant. We would need 2 animals here. Fluffy, Bun Bun, and Stoat. Or Unconditional Deer. I mean, I need 2. I might as well do Rabbit and Stoat. Yes! Well, they like to fight each other sometimes. For example, the Romantic has just sent out raiders to steal population from the Goddess. And I can decide whether we interrupt that or not. So we go look at the Goddess. She has 5 military. Person that has just declared war has... 1. So, good luck with you. Your army is going to get squished, friend. Fluffy, Bun Bun, Stoat. This age we can do the Scribe. Okay, quest done. Quest done. Quest done. We're happy to end the age. We need to spend our 2 bugs. How do we want to spend them? I mean, she claims that she needs more dev. Which is a lie. It's going to give us these 2. Earthworm the plant. Food up the lizard. Actually, we should food up... No, we should food up the lizard. So close. Looks like we're going to be one off. And she has a theoretical trade route. So if she would trade for these modest earrings, then we would be fine. No, she already has the modest earrings. So I do need one more thing. Including one more food. Or, sorry, one more gold. What a joke. If it's got to be done, it's got to be done. I do the Jasper. She doesn't have any wealth to do. The plant and the animal are both full. I don't really care about more of your stuff then. I guess we're doing yours. We would ideally like to boost her science the most, but we don't have a science booster. The second most important thing will be pop. So plant. Actually, how many adjacent fish or coral do you have? Coral. 1, 2, 3. So this does 25, but this does 4, 8, 12 for you. And then it's 12 times 7. Yeah, the krill is actually much stronger. Does it have to be distinct? No, it doesn't even need to be distinct. So krill up the bedrock. And then honestly, I should do the same to the coral one. Because it's going to be 1, 2, 3. At the moment it's only 2, but... Okay, era done. Yes, the Sand People want to use the wealth from the other 2 cities this age to build the pyramids. Is the through line. We get an extra turn next stage, we get an upgrade point, we don't get drafts, we do get some more bugs, which will probably turn into krill, and then diversity, prosperity. Age 3. Do we want a merchant age, make multiple cities super wealthy, and have total wealth? We're basically already at the total wealth thing. Or... Ranger does food, Romantic does science, Goddess does money. That would already be the Ranger's... No, the Goddess's one done, because she has enough gems. The ranger would need herbivores. We have 2 out of 4, so you're already half done as well. And then she would need construction stuff. She has 0 of. So she would need a lot of work. Or... merchant age 1. So do you want 2 extra expand the planets and a turn? Or 2 extra bugs and a turn? And all these super fancy buildings. This is extra trade routes when she's already got all the trade routes she can already have anyway. So no, the castle thing wins for us. So 2 herbivores for her. Deer and Fluffy Bun Bun would work. So would Pangolin and Deer. That also gives us Hi-Fi Panda's favorite cat. And that gives us more predators and herbivores for scaling the tiger. Fortunately, that doesn't suit that square. So Pangolin here. Deer here. Science Rock here. And then between the deer and the pangolin, that's her quest done. We just need a tree for fully activating the pangolin. Ash? Plain old ash? Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be either. Or it could be blueberry. Yeah, because I kind of want to save those for the construction person. So, I guess actually we say blueberry. You're one off triggering your coral diver. Does she need fish or food or science more? She needs food more. So that triggers her coral diving. And then we need to give her construction. So we can eat Fluffy Bun Bun in this. And replace it with trees. Bamboo, bamboo. 4 bamboo, honestly. Yeah. She doesn't provide much in the way of biodiversity, but it does get her quest done. Ooh, that tempts me to not use bamboo there. The booster. But I'm not going to give you enough adjacent animals to use Foxy Woxy. So no, just bamboo. It's not like this cares about distinct construction. So you're going to make your fort out of bamboo. Done. Sport science exist. He's inventing something. What else? Your gem one is already done. She needs one more mineral for her other gem sort of thing. We place this, we shove this down. Kind of need to do a second desert. Fennec fox. Or basalt. Oh, we buy a mountain range here. Because eventually shoving the index fossil in the middle of there would be fantastic. But it's not good yet. And what animal would we have with it? Jerboa? No, we could have kitty cat. One. That one. I need you here. Need animal god. We leave you alone for now. We're going to try and replace you with index fossil. Even though it means we've already got this one. The others are worse. We've already got 2 here and 2 here. We've only got the 1 of this one. This is nicer in terms of giving us another predator to help scale Mr. Lion in the other zone. But it's also really hard to use his next to multiple critter thing. So we wanted this, and then Critter Cat. Dun dun dun, her mission fully done. Okay. So, you're happy, you're happy, you're happy. The last thing to do is get your population to 20. We're 3 off. We trigger your fishing boat mission, and that will do it. But honestly, so would the tavern. And the tavern helps boost the stat that she's actually got lower. So we tavern. Hopefully these last 2 levels get her the 1 extra power she needs for her power component of the mission. Alas, no. Now here we could use Foxy Woxy. Foxy Woxy here. Let's draft a second forest, see if we get a second tier 2 animal. Alas, no. We get a nice gem. Cherry tree. Fruit tree thing. I feel like I need more gems for balance reasons, so I think we're going to go with you over the cherry tree. Also, this is a dual yield thing. So none of the others are dual yield, and that plays into her personal liking dual yield stuff. Gonna level that up. Then we do Spectralite Ruby. And then we start Foxy Woxy Ring. Do we start doing our burns now, or do we buy some rainforest? I think we wait. That makes this really want to be the other gem, the other way around. But actually, no. Because you're going to be 100, whereas you're going to be... They're both going to be 100? They're both going to be 100, doesn't matter. So sure, you go because then you're already triggered. That one. That is hopefully enough to make you believe in wealth. Your mission complete. Little tempted to do the rainforest. I'm a little tempted to start up a whole extra person already. So where would we put them? At the moment I feel like we would expand here. Let's find out who they are before we make a decision. We're offered another merchant man like her, gem-loving, or food and gold lady. So your mix of food gold, but mostly science. She is pure gold, and you are food gold. So we have gold is a bit overrepresented. Food is medianly represented, and science is slightly weak. So we definitely don't need gold. She is better in terms of what we're trying to do. How well would she go in a rainforest? As long as we go animal rainforest, she can go animal animal. Safari. She actually goes really well with fish. Wide fish game. But we already have a fish ocean. So 2 embiggifications. Or do we give her a tiger? How does lion scale again? Only for in this biome. So it's weaker than the real lion. Tiger is weaker than lion. Then we don't really mind which we do. And we kind of want slightly more science, which Tiger is better at than, I want to say, Rainforest. Although Rainforest does have coca. Lions don't have scales. No, but the lion does scales. It scales very well. It scales off global animal, or at least global predator. So I was wondering if China tiger did the same, and it doesn't. It only scales off local zone. Do I want it to be rainforest or this one? I'm going to say rainforest. Knowing that we need to focus animals, we do bird. And we're not offered very many animals, we do mango because it at least gives us one other bird. We shove her down here. I may be willing to let you have one more tile here. Something like that. Come on, hurry up and settle over here. It doesn't take forever. Waddle your way over here. We get 5 more actions. So I could do these 2. And then 2 animals. We would probably want to be parrot and budgerigar. But the other way around, we'd want parrot down here and budgerigar up there, so budgerigar is getting tree adjacency. On the other hand, you have a money booster. So arguably that one should be budgerigar, but it's too late for that. It could be topaz. Topaz, amethyst, parrot. Sure. Now, you don't want to expand, right? Alas, she does. I kind of need to trick her into expanding over here. Because if she comes this way, it will make my life unpleasant. Well, not really. That could be another desert thing and it wouldn't actually worry us. Yeah, so actually we're okay with that. What we do is we set up this side. And this is being the two of these. The one that wants 2 animals goes here. Fruit-only guy goes here. And that's enough biodiversity to do parrot. And you, unless she loves you... She does. So instead we have you stop her raiding you, unless you've gotten bigger than her. And you haven't, so yes, we need to stop that raid. The goddess is grumpy that Monkey has interrupted her trying to attack Huntress Lady here. Then what? You science, her science, or you science are the best options. Krill is still really good. Like a krill here would have fish, 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 fish adjacency. And she gets pretty good value out of her mystery. That would help fix out she doesn't have enough money aspect of her current build, being a bit too food focused. Do we have one more fish to place there eventually? Or reef? Yes, we could technically place this. That means Nemo could also have krill happily. It's slightly not as effective at the moment. It's only 4 out of 5 possible effective, but still pretty good. Certainly still like 4 times more efficient than spending it on the other things. Okay. And I realized what this is actually trying to say. The romantic Duke of Lush Shelfhaven approaches. The goddess Count of Sandalplace City does as well. And then the leader comes out and says, "Other leader, you smell like elderberries. That leader, your mother was a hamster. I am super cool. Crush you." So I think they're going for a reference there. Maybe you picked it up as well. The Ranger stands victorious. Gain more bugs back. Gain an extra turn. Gain a draft. Gain even more bugs. Diversity, prosperity. We are forced to do civil war. Nuclear war. We need 1 city to have 35 tech. And then 2 cities to have 50 danger. Zoo is generally the best for you, and it's already better than the Safari Guide. It's also significantly better than the Lighthouse. The only way it could be worse is if we have a really good shark, and we don't. So I'm happy going with Zoo. She likes copying the best ring. Copy the best ring. It's not amazing yet. So let's double check that we don't have something better. Is the cotton going to end up being better? I don't think so. I can erase you and turn you into Mineral 1, Generic 1. We would need to replace Kitty. And then we can make our decision about your thing, whether the cotton ends up being better or not. I don't think we've ever used cotton yet. So it was one that wants a mineral adjacency. And then fortuitously we get the super booster on the thing that produces 2 things. And then you needed an animal. We can have Jerboa or Sandcat. Technically, Jerboa is more useful to what you don't have dev'd at the moment. Yeah, we have so few flowers that cotton isn't actually that good. We can make 1 more. Which I guess we then should do. No, but you would get in the way of Bearded Dragon over there. We could shove down the Giants thing, and then I could put them down where they don't get in the way of that. Oh, but we wanted to erase this and shove down the Index Fossil, didn't we? Yeah. The cotton is at least better than the best gem we have at the moment. So we erase you. We shove down the Index Fossil. The Index Fossil slightly wants to go there. But then I'd need to do 2 more rocks. Which we technically could do. We can do our Basalt and replay the Super Gem. Yeah, that's actually better. Do I want to super you or him? You are going to be 100 gold. You are going to be 100 science. No, you are better. You want to be on the super thing. Replay the gem. And finally the basalt. Oh, I can't, because it's not a level 2 slot. Fair enough. Still, a hell of a lot of science. Like 4 levels of... well, 3 levels of science. Most of a level of food each, and then another 2-ish levels of money. We accept the country club into our heart. And now that that's gone, we can put the other flower here. This crappy one. Which will further scale the cotton, which will further scale the country club. Yep. Both of those further scale. Food, 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 food. She needs 1 more mineral to be ultra happy. But there is no more space. Tempting to shove down the mountain across here in a way that just gives us 1 more slot for her. And then shoving that 1 mineral there. And that also helps further boost Parrot, which is attractive. Of the remaining ones, you are the best. They don't need to be distinct, right? No. So this fully triggers her temple. Even more money. Even more indirect money via mystery. But she's not getting any better. You. The lighthouse looks good, but this is also good. You haven't got your chert yet. Chert and Amber would work. The trouble is she would try and absorb this instead of you. I guess we could expand this ocean some. Also, we should really be focusing on placing down the tiger. So we should erase those. Do we give them to her, or do we make a new city? Tiger gives big money. No, it's too hard to raise her military. Yours is good. And hers is good. I probably give her the tiger. Which means we want space now. Plop down, Mr. Tiger. We're not going to get a mineral adjacent with better than that, so the porcupine can go there. And tiger is happy there. We just want lots of animals. So, Foxy Woxy. You're a herbivore, you're a predator. You're a herbivore, you're a herbivore. We wouldn't actually mind a second extra fox for the sake of balancing out our predator to herbivore ratio. You and Fluffy Bun Bun. Force her to expand twice. Eat the other animals, because it powers up your zoo. Okay, that's got her over 50. Now she needs the science component. Merry Christmas, Decoy. I would have to buy 2. Ouch, ouch. And we really desperately need a science ocean here. You are kind of science ocean? You're the best we're gonna get. We cannot afford the expand at the moment. So we fill you out some more. Currently she wants 1 extra animal. And I wanted to put down bird next to tree. I don't really want you stealing her stuff. Could you go stop that attack, please? Unless she loves the rock giant. No, she doesn't love the rock giant, so that's fine. He says thank you for helping save our city. We generate some more mysticism. He suddenly says she wants an extra animal. So we give her guinea pig. She needs Pop, according to us. Even though Trapper... Well, they both end up producing the same, actually. So Pop is fine. And that probably gets her up high enough that she boosts all animals globally. For her next one, Tavern, she'd only need one more animal. Though we are swiftly running out of, actions. That at least minimally triggers Tavern. And it gives us enough pop that we can bigify this ocean. And then this is becoming an ocean of deep stuff. So it's going to be the thing that produces massive amounts of science in the deep, and then surrounded by anglerfish. And then that one can be the other spare 3-slot, or the 2-slot fish, sorry, here. This thing. You can be that one. These should be all of this one. We're going to need to buy at least 2 expands for you. Good. We need more turns. 1, 2. 1. 2. And now all our hope rests on that getting you high enough on science. Each of those making 100, 200 is pretty solid. And then this thing is up to 515. That should be enough to get you to the 35 science. Port Lush Shelf has developed a powerful weapon. But Lush Shelf Haven has as well, and is truly ready to respond. She is never going to get to high enough militarism, because she's a pacifist. It should have chosen her city, ideally. So we're kind of screwed there. She... Lighthouse or Romantic Mansion? 500 or 3 times 7... 20. 20 times 30, which is 600. 600 is bigger than 500, so 600 wins. The Lush Shelf War begins. I don't think we're going to do better than 1 star here, because I really doubt our ability to get this city up to high enough militarism, because she's a pacifist. Maybe with the missile silo we could get something to happen, but... like, nothing we have is military. Except second copy of Tiger, probably. Yeah, second copy of Tiger is all we have. technically I can move Tiger and meet this, because she's got 52 without Tiger being here. So let's create a quick save and see if we can delete Tiger but still... Well, do I think we could get the diversity otherwise? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... No. Well, actually, maybe, because your thing provides biodiversity. Especially in double plant zones like here. So let's buy one of your things. Make these bamboos stupidly good at providing biodiversity. Do that twice even. And that will let us place another tiger. I need to buy an upgrade square to be allowed to place the tiger. Oh. Upgrade square. You get to have your own copy of Tiger. Is that enough? So wasteful putting those on the bamboo, but it's not like we have much better trees to put it on. Yeah. Our forest trees are pretty bad. And we needed the biodiversity here. Okay, 15 danger. Is that enough extra danger? It is. But then we would need 70 extra dev. Just to underflow her like a Gandhi. And 250 total unhappy. I think the best bet is to get a military thing from you, like oil. Bird is technically military, but no. We reroll for oil. Gila Monster is technically military, but no, we reroll. Camel is the best we're going to get. Camel is not good. Camel is so bad. No, technically cheetah is better than camel. But I don't think it matters, because I think that zone is out of biodiversity either way. Yeah, it's got 4. And there's no way of getting rid of these, because they're level 3 slots now. So this doesn't save us, it doesn't matter what we pick. We can efficiency boost these things. We haven't done that yet. It's better off doing your one. So double Mr. Tiger, near enough. Helps make you bigger. 2, 3, 4. It's only going to be like 5 levels. Other tiger. Increasing yours probably doesn't really do much because her levels are so expensive now. Yeah. It's going to be like 3 more levels. I think boosting the science thing is probably the better. Yeah. Or just doing more krill. Technically, krill there is pretty good. Last extra turn, force her to expand. I can place one more of the science fish. Which further enhances this krill. $500 money and 200 science. We're still like 30 and 30 short. So I would have need to maybe prioritize threat drafting more across this draft to get full 3-star, 3-star, 3-star. Yeah. That or done more of this sort of thing. Like, one of these pays for a whole tiger. Tiger is big amount of base threat. Merry Christmas, Connor. And Merry Christmas, Chaotic Good. It's as good as we're getting. Just place another krill or two. So, like, yours is fully effective. And yours is only -1. By one more turn and we can make all of those fully effective. Just by placing down another random fish. Any fish will do. Food levels are your best ones, so food fish. About 30-30 shy. Rip. Port Lush Shelf launches a nuclear warhead. Lush Shelf Haven launches one too. Planet completed. Super hard difficulty. 3-star, 3-star, but then only 2-star for a want of military anger and a little bit of dev. Cotton was bad. Cotton was almost useless. Tiger was good. You were also useless, Coral thing. So 2 of our 3 starting things were of no use. We didn't get enough flowers for Cotton to be good. And we didn't have enough ocean. I've never found that coral one particularly good because so many of the corals need shallow water. And that means you can't just have one giga ocean, which is what that coral wants. That coral wants you to go wide so that all the corals buffer all the other corals. But you can't do that because a wide ocean equals a deep ocean by default. Yeah, I had a nice Christmas. I hope you had a lovely Christmas too, Partridgian. Alright, still 2 out of 3 on the hardest difficulty. Still a passing mark, even if I feel like I have failed internally. And we'll do, what, one RT3 map? And then probably call it a night? And get a good sleep, unlike yesterday. Bloody doggos that we're babysitting interrupted my sleep a bit. I want to go outside, says Doggo. 5 minutes later. I want to come back inside. We need to change our category. Launch this as admin. Sorry about the dun. We change our scene. Not into my secret underwater base. I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. Trains. We just did Australia? No, we just did the Canada one, which is that one. No, it's the one after that one. My bad. Yes. Now, do we do one of these maps, or do we go do one of the second century ones? Yeah, you want me to come and do these ones? Don't really. I wouldn't mind doing the Germany one, maybe. The Germany one can be okay. Really want to do any of those. So, cheaper bridge building, early Iron Duke, or Goodwill? The Goodwill makes it easier to buy all the other state accesses, which is the big thing on this map. This map, you've got to pay to like buy access to Bavaria, buy access to North Rhine-Westphalen, buy access to Schleswig-Holstein, etc. On the other hand, having immediate access to Big Chonky Train, let's look up what year its access becomes available normally. What year would you become accessible normally? In about 6 years in-game. No, I think we can live with some crappier trains for 6 years. So the Goodwill. It's the mid-1850s and Europe is struggling with social reforms, empire building and industrialization. The independent states of Germany are no exception in order to forge a stronger alliance. You need to develop better interstate commerce with the introduction of a unified rail system. Your goal is to get acceptance from as many as the German states as possible by connecting your railroad to their territories. For bronze, connect 8 within 26 years. Silver, by connecting 9 or 10, 1 year sooner. And for gold, you must get Bavaria and 11 states, as well as haul 70 loads in a single year, and again, 1 year sooner. So 24 years. Slow down. We start with the Städten that doesn't actually control all of Stettin, Berlin. But this needs turning into a right angle. Like that. This needs expanding. How much is a train, and do we start with any? We don't start with any. We can have some Prussian. I should buy that first, because otherwise if I spend all the rest of my money I would be sad. This needs to be a big station. Can it be a medium? It depends which way it expands. If it expands... Actually, no, it should be fine as a medium either way. So we can save a little bit of money only going up to medium station. Yeah, that still gets all the people. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of people. To match Berlin's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Berlin also wants to process cow and log. There are no nearby logs, so that's insanity. But there is nearby cow. Still, we should optimize your passenger stuff to begin with. Restaurant, post office. There isn't even... We haven't even invented large restaurant yet. Done. That's as good as that's going to get. There are other railways in this one, so we do have to pay attention to the advisors and make sure they don't snap up extra cheap fuel guy. We would like extra cheap fuel guy for ourselves. We only have mediumly cheap fuel guy. We should go turn off the dividend for once I remember to do that. Oh, and you need to get the audio. For some reason you aren't getting audio. Well, let's immediately fix that. There? Yeah, that looks like you're getting the audio now. Speed up. Ding ding. The Stettin Bullet. Small hotel. Same on the other side. We can't get all of these in a single one. Nor can I get 2 inside a single small. That seems like the most obvious one to do. Start saving up the cows. While you were loading up the male decayed. Rip. Speed up. Growing prosperity. Large restaurant is invented, making a mockery of me building the small ones. We split 6 for 1. Holy moly. Just a sec, I think I hear Doggo wanting to be let out. All good. So, largify the restaurant. Largify the restaurant. Connect the cow up. Buy a cow delivery. So, cows from Berlin Junction, convert them into burgers, and then deliver them to Stettin. And that means that we are going to want to double this length of track. We're also going to want to double that little bit, but can I afford it yet? Not quite. And we should have a look if even cheaper Fuel Man is available. He is not. But at least none of the AI have nabbed him. Speed up. Speed up. Stettin can have a full load of only passengers. Question is, do you get back quickly enough that he is actually now problematically slow? Which might be so. So I might make you a load of passengers, and the other guy a load of food next time. They space themselves out a bit nicer. We should double that last little bit of track. Done. You are going to do pure food. The next time you will hopefully go back to doing pure food. Is even cheaper Fuel Man an option? No. Pure food? Speed up a bit. Your job done. Speed up a bit. The The food truck is very heavy, so it's a bit slow. It's tempting me to build another end-to-end express. You've struck a deal with the Baldwin Locomotive Company. They've agreed to sell you 440 Americans if you pay an initial import tariff. The cost is $100,000, plus you get purchasing and delivery rights. Will you pay? So do we want Americans, or do we only want Prussians and Iron Dukes? The Iron Dukes aren't good for little efficiency runs, where the Americans kind of are. The Americans are a nice midpoint between the Prussians and the Iron Dukes. And it's only 100k, so we'll say yes to that. We split 2 for 1. Our revenue's more than twice as big as the next biggest competitor. And then we need to think about adding another city so that we can deliver more food. Now, usually what we do is we go Ponzance, Bigorsk, Lodz, Katowice, and we make a Katowice, Bigorsk, a Lodz, Gdansk, and then add in any food that we can. Which this time would be this grain to Lodz and Bigorsk to all the other locations. Close enough. But I kind of want to wait until we get the Iron Dukes for that. Else we're just going to have to upgrade all the trains anyway. No. Head back here. You are going to do that. I said, head back here. You are going to do that. You can be full passengers. Okay. Mid next year, or sometime next year, we get the Iron Dukes, then we can do the Polish expansion. We should check again for even cheaper fuel man. Still no. You become this one. He becomes full passengers so that you split up a bit more nicely. Okay. Stuttgart and Ulm actually made more money. But they're going to clog that up something chronic now. What we could do is start plopping this down so that we can hoard the grain. Oh. You should go last. The Iron Duke becomes available and we can make the Polish expansion. So, we, in theory, should find jobs to use these for. Germany does, well, Berlin wants coal, so we could do a little coal one. But that's about it. So which one do we... I think we erase you and replace you with a Chungus. So your new job is here, then Berlin, but you're up to the Berlin bit. And then you grab 2 of these and that's your life forever. Whereas the 2 expresses immediately convert over to Iron Dukes. Maybe that's asking a bit much of you. They are fairly heavy. Hope that you can do that. As long as we mark you as unimportant from now on, that should be fine. And then we start the Polish expansion. We look if there's cheaper fuel man. There isn't. There is cheaper station man. And given that we're about to build a whole lot of stations, that seems sensible. What do ports do this level? They're like 4 houses. So we do want the port. That. Okay, then we want Borogusk. For pricing optimization reasons, we want it to be as far up as possible. Good. What about the hotel? Thank you. Same with you. Then Lodz. And finally, Katowice. For pricing optimization reasons, we want you to be as far down as possible. Like that. Final one, Katowice. Technically, it wouldn't be terrible if we could get that wood at the same time. Alas, we cannot. In that case... In that case, I probably want the cow. So there looks to be the best. Then we need track in between. Is there a cheaper track person? You are at least 5% cheaper track. You are 15, we stick with you. We build our double track. Most all our money. We need one more loan. That lets us connect up the grain. We don't know about grain storage. We need one for this cow. Which we are having a hard time finagling into counting as... Come on, it's one square too far away. Okay, what about those two? Those two work. You will need your own water. Okay. So, end-to-end express, end-to-end express. Hopefully you're more full by the time you get there. Other end-to-end express. Food 1. So how are we going to do this? You should provide these two with food. Actually, ideally you should provide all three with food. And then you should provide only food to him. But there's not going to be enough cow for that. So I think we set you up. No, I think you can do that each year, honestly. Whereas the cow one could do just Gdansk. So 2, 4, 6 here. Too poor for another. Need to wait to make the next cow one. We get to see the might of the new Iron Dukes. Also, we should definitely try and find cheaper fuel man again, which we immediately do. There's another cheap fuel man, but he's actually worse at fuel cheapening, so we say no. One. That is enough money that we can start the cow one. Yeah. Oh. We don't have any way of making goods over here. No, we don't have any way of making goods over here. We could make them in Katowice. Is there any source of cotton or wool for you? Not really. In Austria, but Austria hates Germany, so they won't let us have access rights reasonably. And cotton? Cotton is even further away. So that's basically a no. In theory, yes to you, but that's a huge distance to pull that for not a lot. We do want to buy... Oh my god, they already bought it. That cow factory. I think those are going to run into each other, unfortunately. It's worth buying you the telegraph poles now. And I guess you can have maintenance. Why not? Is there nearby log? No. Okay, Lod's made its first delivery and can become an even mix. Probably means Katowice isn't too far behind. Correct. Beautiful. And you know what? You have taken too long. And if we did this, we could also deliver the food to Berlin sometime. So instead, we are going to tell you to currently go here, then there. And you need to be not crappy priority for once. The other trains can wait for you for a little bit. And that means your cycle can now go there, there, there. Half the time deliver food to Stettin, half the time deliver food to Berlin. First Katowice food delivery comes in, $500,000. Half the time you do both of these, and then half the time he does that, and half the time he does that. That seems like a reasonable mix. Should mean that no single place is getting super saturated with food. Good. Start with the LODS component, actually, because that's almost full again. You can do the bonus layer of food. No more milk. Good enough. No water. Fine, you can have your own water tower. No, you should actually be doing this component. It needs the food more than Stettin. Future, you need to go back to being a express. You also need to go back to being low priority. You might as well grab 4 at the moment. Looks like I should have kept one more tiny one. That's a horrendous map of Poland. Prussia's state stock splits 2 for 1. Revenue massively up. What don't you like about this Poland? What's horrible about it? It's missing all features for one. It has features other than one river. News to me. We should buy you before the AI does. And we should buy this thing before the AI does. Are these cities big enough to want coal? You do. You do not, frustratingly. You do not. You do. 2 cities is enough. So the Wilsa River coal expansion can exist. Sand, water, roundhouse. And your job then is to deliver coal. Coal here, coal there. Apparently the north doesn't want coal. For whatever reason. Yes. Was there nearby timber? This is sort of reasonably close to that, honestly. It's only slightly hilly, but it's hilly uphill, so we say that that doesn't matter. And it's going to be hilly in the downhill direction, which helps the train. Sand, water, roundhouse. That also means that we want to... Bless me. Bless me. Double that little bit of track to here. We make a log train. Because all of these places do want lumber. So there. Wait for 6. Turn them into lumber. Wait for 6. Turn them into lumber. Wait for 6. Turn them into lumber. And then by the time you've done that loop, the requesting of lumber in the first city should have recovered. Alright, we're also still super rich. Technically, we could also do the other city with you. So you could do there to here. And that closes every single city there now gets timber deliveries. River Oder is missing, the forests are missing. Mostly in the north. Hills missing in the south. These hills are here. It's somewhat hilly here. You can turn on grid mode to highlight the hills. This bit is lumpy, it has hills. It gets very mountainous and hilly where it meets Austria. Like between Katowice and Lodz, there should be hills. Yeah, there are, look! Look, this is lumpy. Lumpy, lumpy, lumpy. Lumpy. I'll give you that it's hard to see without the grid on, but with the grid on you can see the lumpiness. These are not this tiny. You have to remember everything has to be in relative scale here to these Alps. The Alps are only this tall. So unless those hills are more than like 1/5 the height of the Alps, you don't really have a leg to stand on. What next with all our money? There's not really any other goods production here that matters, so we should start connecting to the other states. Let's do Schleswig. Mecklenburg. $500,000. Ouch. It's got to be done. Connect up to Stettin. Stettin would like to process fruit, but there is no fruit. The quiet state of Mecklenburg has decided to accept your leadership. Milk price up 20%. Who cares? Next, Holstein. Holstein is nice and cheap and gives us access to Hamburg. We probably should make the new express like Hamburg, Berlin, and then the other thing Stettin, Poznan. If we're being truthful. It's pretty good. Oh, and it even gets to be one continuous straight. That is super sexy. So you are now Berlin, Hamburg. As are you. Lovely. I wanted to connect Stettin to Poznan. We also need to give this all its everything, and we need a watering station in the middle. Something like there. Holstein gives it support. Theoretical though it mostly is. Does this need to be doubled? Actually, probably should have built it further this way, in retrospect. We couldn't without building a large station, so not going to feel bad. Give you everything. Including the hotel. Hamburg needs everything. And that also now means that Berlin needs a customs house, because they're going to have to check the hamburgers' passports. And now we need an express between you two. Wait for at least half. You wait for at least half and go. Does Hamburg also want coal? Yes. Which means I'm okay with finally replacing you. Become an Iron Duke. First you do Berlin, then you do Hamburg. That also means we want to double that little bit of track and that little bit of track. It still says, thank you. Fixed. Thank you kindly. Category wrong. Yes. Here can turn pulpwood into paper and logs into... Ooh. You need your own water. Fair enough. Your ratio should change. So should yours. So should yours, and then I don't have to micro you. Speed back up. Are you making your second delivery? No, you're still making your first delivery. Merry Choo Choo Christmas. Merry Choo Choo Christmas, Jake. I hope you had a lovely Christmas day. We're going to wait. You're going to finish your delivery. How goes the first Hamburg Express? And could we then improve you? Yes, you no longer ever deliver to Berlin. You do Stettin and Hamburg. I need to feed Berlin and Poznan, which we do from here. It is going to need its own water there, annoyingly. So, grain into donuts, deliver to Berlin. Grain into donuts, deliver to Poznan. Do you need to faff around with signaling? No. The advantage this has over Transport Tycoon is that there's no signaling. The closest you have to signaling is by mixing this thing, which is a speedometer, or you can also use it to try and get extra power out of your trains at the cost of them exploding more. You can also use it to underpower trains that are old and likely to explode to make them go slower. And these little priority buttons here. So green, Christmas tree arrow thing. I always thought of it as a Christmas tree, even though it's meant to be like a green arrow. Green arrow has higher priority than red, and red has higher priority than this upside down orange. And then there's stop completely. So a train with green will always go over the top of and cause the other trains underneath it to stop over the other two priorities, and then the middle priority over the lowest priority. And then within a priority set, the speedometer is further priority setting if you really want to do it, but basically those three priorities alone covers most of the cases that you'll want. I don't think I ever really use the other thing. It's there, you can use it, but save. So instead, can we show an example? None of them are currently overlapping. None of them are currently overlapping, so I can't show you. Oh no, here we go. So this guy currently can't go over this guy because they were already going first, and they're waiting for this train to get out of the way. And then as soon as they start clearing the space where he wants to turn around, he will turn around and start going. Whereas if I had the other one on higher priority, the red train would have stopped entirely, and the other one would have just run over the top of it. While the other one stopped. Good. Money, 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 money. Wait for this one to come in, and then we'll look at expanding to another couple of German states. That was the donut delivery, or the grain that are becoming donuts. There we go. So, where else do we want to do? We would like to do Hanover. Let's buy access to Hanover. Germany, Hanover. $1 million. Ouch. We only need crappy bridges. Technically connect into Hanover. Station. The economic powerhouse of Hanover gives you its blessing. Your stock value rises 25%. Where else? We can do Oldenburg. Also unreasonably expensive. Crappy bridge. Connect to Heglioland. Oldenburg sees the wisdom of your plan for a united Germany and joins you. Where else? Not the Netherlands. Westphalen. Westphalia. Westphalia is too expensive and you must wait. Fair enough. We need a little bit more money. So wait for one of the other big Polish deliveries to come in. Perhaps that coal? Okay. That was the Lodz Express. We should now be able to buy Westphalen. Done. Need to wait for a bit more money to have the money for the tracks. Bless me. Bless me. Okay. I'm actually showing it off. Have to wait for this breakdown to fix. This breakdown is actually causing a bit of a clog. There's now two things behind it waiting for delivery, or waiting for the breakdown to go away. There we go. So now I can show you. At the moment, this train is already running. If I change the priority of the train that's underneath it to higher, the first one will stop, and now this one will go. And it goes sort of transparent and see-through, and it won't start running again until this one has gotten off of overlapping it. And you can do that usefully to make goods that need to be delivered quickly, like passengers' mail milk, get delivered quickly, and goods that don't care about delivering quickly, that decay slowly, like coal and iron, as well as to help trains that you just want to be fast for. Like, some of the missions have deliver X amount of stuff to location Y, so for the sake of doing the mission, you want to set priorities for that. Why are we allowed to go through the part of Poland that belonged to Russia? This is the Russian bit of Poland. Russian Empire, here. We are outside of that bit. Russian Empire bid is represented. Now you can say that maybe this doesn't represent in reality how that border goes, but it does exist. Lodz is actually Russian? Not in this timeline. Lodz is inside Prussia. Wanted Westfalen, which is here. Düsseldorf. Westphalia rallies to the cause, to your empire. Next. We'll do Little Nassau. Access, cheap date. Connect across. The only thing of note in Nassau is a single iron mine. The tiny state of Nassau enthusiastically joins your campaign. Then we can do Hesse-Badenberg. Hesse-Darmstadt. Next up, Frankfurt. Hesse-Darmstadt has seen the light. They've chosen you to lead them. Station turnaround time, 15% reduction. And Hesse Castle. We're going to run out of money again. Hesse Castle has a coal mine we can pretend to be servicing. Your persistence pays off. Hesse Castle heeds your call to reason and listen to your commands. Yeah, then we need to wait for money a little bit more. So, speed back up time. Bismarck is on a roll. 5 states back the empire. The world takes notice. Goodwill rises 15%. What's wrong with you? You have water issues, so let's just give you a water tower of your own in the future. Same with you, to stop that ever being an issue again, please. It also seems like maybe one here wouldn't be insane. Go. Economic recovery. Global economy goes into a higher state. People are willing to pay more. We get more multiplier on all our deliveries. Did we ever pay off our loan? Let's do that as well. We are rich enough. We've also got enough money again to do another expansion. Which state will we do? The Thuringian states. Yeah. We can most easily access from here. Cross to Thuringia, pretend that we care. The collection of Thuringian states unanimously vote to follow your lead. You've made a new ally. Get Baden and Württemberg. Should trigger Baden, but hasn't. And what's the other one? Württemberg. But then we need to wait for some more money to actually be able to lay the track. So speed up. the first Hamburgian coal delivery. Baden has bent to your will. The German Empire is one step closer to reality. We have to wait while Hamburg checks the passports of all the coal. We wouldn't want any illegal immigrant coal. Passport check's done. Cash it in. Okay, that's Württemberg. And now the only holdouts are Bavaria and Saxony. Saxony is a cheap date. We need slightly more money. Wait a little bit. Württemberg has given in to your economic wooing and joined the Empire. Trains cost 10% less maintenance. Company splits 2 for 1 in terms of stock. The Lodz coal delivery comes in. And one of the long-distance expresses, which is enough for us to build this and incorporate Saxony. And then the last one we need to buy is Bavaria. Bavaria is usually like $10–15 million something. $19 million, so just speed up until that money comes in. Your standing with Bavaria is strained at best. You realize that to unite Germany, you will need the King of Bavaria to trust you. We know the King's interest in castles and palaces. If you were to have a scale model of Neuschwanstein Castle made for your next visit, you'd probably score big points, a goodwill increase of 20%. It'll only cost you $150,000. Do it. Economy back on track. Refrigeration is invented. We could go build refrigerators in our stations. Does the extra goodwill... So he used to cost $19 million. Now he only costs 17. A saving of $1.8 million on our investing in his little scale model castle. First oil well ever invented near Magdeburg. We split 2 for 1 again. That's enough money to buy that access. No, it's increased in cost in the meantime, so we need a little bit more. There we go. Buy access to Bavaria. Build in Bavaria. Oh, no, that was Saxony, my bad. Slightly further down. Slightly further left. Slightly further down. There we go. Here. We can pretend we care about their logs. The King of Bavaria agrees to your economic plan and joins your cause. Goodwill raised by 20%, but it's too late because we've done all of them now. No greater glory can be earned. You've set the newly formed German Empire squarely on the path to success. If we didn't already have a Kaiser, you would surely be crowned.
Wow, another great job in Central Europe. You've become quite the talk of the town. Now it's back into the trenches, as France is in desperate need of your talents.
But with that, I know it's a short stream, but we will call it for today so that I can get a better rest. Yesterday, as I said, I didn't get a great rest. And then today, socializing, food coma. My tummy is very full and my natural state wants to be asleep, so we'll get a good sleep today and then do what we had initially planned to do today tomorrow.
How old I already am?
Is anyone we know and respect up and around? No, so I'm going to have to leave you to make your own lives. cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining. I hope you had a lovely time. Have a lovely Christmas, those of you still celebrating. Nice Christmas lunch, nice Christmas dinner. But from me for now, peace.